Yo, what is up, people? How are we doing? Tell you what, they don't make it easy on the heart, do they? They really don't fucking make it easy on the heart. 11-point win, happy as Larry, 2-2, as we asked. Season back on track, back to Melbourne next week. Job done. Get out of there, get on the plane and come home. It was a job well done. That was what was needed today. It was scrappy, it was slippery, it was clumsy, it was fumbly, but it was a win. And that's all that matters. So happy to be here, excited to be here. Let's get this going. For those of you who've never been to a fan cams, welcome to the fan cams. I'm going to put a link in the comments shortly. Hit the link, jump in the queue. Let's talk to as many of you as possible. 2 in a row, guys. 2 in a row. Let's enjoy this one. I want to get as many of your voices on. If you've never been, I encourage you to come on. I want to get some new voices on tonight. Share your thoughts and let's revel in the Carlton Kool-Aid for an hour and a half or so. Looking forward to it. Where we at? Let's start here. Yo.
You got me loud and clear?
Loud and clear, mate. What's going on?
Look at the Kool-Aid. How's the Kool-Aid?
So just taking my lid.
There you go.
Don't need that anymore.
Don't need that anymore. 55,000 at the MCG next week to take on Port Adelaide. Bring it on. And I've got a little surprise for you. You beauty!
Oh, it's a 2-in-1.
The Kool-Aid! They are bangers!
What do you reckon? They don't make it easy, do they?
No, shit, man. Fucking hell. They really don't. This is how we're drinking tonight, mate. The little pinky out. And
pinky up.
The Kool-Aid. God. All right, let's get on to the game.
Let's do it.
I'll drink. Frustrating, yes, but I think the conditions played a big part in it. But I like the hunger from the boys because every time the Gold Coast forwarded us with a question, we answered back every single time, which is what that's what good football clubs do, Terry. That's what good football teams do. So, look, as you said, put the win in the bloody bag and just come back home. I don't know how many injuries we've got. Jack looked like he was pretty sore at the end, but again, it was just a game where those forwards didn't really have the 4 quarters, but you got to make your moments count, and that's what they did. That's what they did, Terry, mate. Jack had his moment, laid the big tackle. Harry had his moment, kicked his goal, and that's what it's all about. So, as I said to you 2 weeks ago, we're going to go 2-2, and look, tough game next week, but tough game next week, but just happy to get the 4 points, mate. We had to be 2-2, mate. There were no negotiable. It was a non-negotiable.
And shout out to Ed Kerr now. What a game! What a game! He stood up, completely stood up. Our midfield, I thought, was a little bit loose tonight. I think they weren't as polished as what we usually might think they are. Ed Kerr now just stepped up. I think the old foe, the Murphy,
the old firm tonight, mate.
Murphy waiting for you to say his name. I was waiting for you to say Mark's name.
So this is Ed Kerr now.
And this one, Mr. Mark Murphy. I know I criticised him a little bit this year, but
he would have been loving it when they kicked the first goal.
But again, Terry, you've got to be objective in these things, and he took his moments tonight, Murph. Kicked his goals well.
Look, Cottrell.
The only dampener I might put on the game is just Cripper maybe a few times when the game was really hot, when we just need a little bit of a cool head late. He took that mark about 55 out with 3 minutes to go, and he went. Just settle. Just settle. I think we need to see more of that from him. But overall, look, Jones had a few moments, and he was
Petrescu Seaton was good.
SPS, fantastic.
He's starting to get into the groove of things now. I think it's hard to judge someone on their foot skills tonight with how slippery the conditions were, but he looked a skill above, and he's starting to really feel that position. I feel. I was really impressed by him tonight. And overhead, you wouldn't expect it, but overhead, he's so brave. Like we said, he goes behind, he takes the mark, and he stays under the ball. I was really impressed with him. Wiedering absolutely towered King tonight.
Smashed him.
After the first goal, he just said, "Yep, I'll take you in my back pocket, and thank you very much."
Look, I think the big thing from this game as well is that these games, you've got to grit your teeth, Terry. And that's always been the question with us. Can we deal with the heat? Can we
Yeah.
deal with these ugly wins? And, mate,
We did.
they've done it tonight. And guess what? GWS beat Collingwood too.
And the Swans beat the Bombers, and the Port Power beat Richmond, and we're on top of them.
Finlayson from 40 metres out.
Beauty.
No, mate, I think you're spot on.
They can suck on a big fat one tonight, the Magpies. They can suck on a big fat one. I don't know if there's any kids listening. Just block your ears, but stick that up your backside. 2 weeks was 2 weeks ago. 2-2, the Blue Baggers inside the 8. You beauty.
I think you're right. Look, I get it. It was scrappy at times, foot skills, hand skills, points. But like at the end of the day, I just feel like whatever we all think, whether you're off them, you're on them, you're sick of them, win. Win games of football.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Win games of football.
I feel like I've been out with that. I'm sweating. I'm perspirating, Terry. My fucking black T-shirt, if it was white, you could see my bloody hairy out, my hair in fucking tummy.
You picked the right color. That's why you wear black.
Look, and I think too, what I liked in the last quarter as well was they threw Gibbons on the ball late.
Yeah.
And he had a few big pivotal moments. Yeah,
Kennedy.
I know. What is it, Terry? 2-time JJ Liston medal winner as a midfielder.
They tell me that he was a good midfielder in the VFL. I don't know. It might be true, but you might want to play him on the ball more. I don't know. I might just be a crazy fan. I don't know.
All right. Now, listen, I want to just a shout out to all Blue Baggers. We've nearly got 80,000 members. Get to the bloody game next week.
Get there.
Saturday night, prime time at the MCG against Port Adelaide. Mate, let's get as many Blue Baggers to the G as we can and bloody sound out those Mongols. They've got a few down as well. Dersma, Butters, and Rosie as well, mate. We've got to make the most of it. Strike while the iron's hot, Terry.
Listen, before the season, if we're asking the question, what are you looking at after 5 rounds? You're probably saying 3-2 if we're legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So we put ourselves in that position. We go to the G next week. If the fans can give us an extra 5% at the MCG against a wounded Port, fucking bring it on.
Correct. They need we need to get over 50,000 there next week.
Need to. Be loud, scream, swear.
And I don't want to end on a negative note, but I want to say my fucking heart sank today when I heard the news about Marchie as well. Fuck. Just shattering for the kid, to be honest.
That's rubbish.
Yeah. It's nice for us to get the win for him, but it's...
We got the win for him.
So, what do you say?
No, it's true. It's very true. Can you pick a best on? What are you thinking? That I know it's very
Ed for me.
Ed
for me.
Ed Kerno had to be the one. I mean, those are his conditions, though, aren't they?
Ed for me.
You know,
Ed followed by Petrovsky Seaton. If Jones had used the ball a little bit better by hand, I'd say Jones would be up there. But I'm really red hot on Ed Kernow. That was pretty impressive. Yeah. You know what I said, Ed Kernow? I'm down here. Fucking.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. He's down there. Here we go.
Knock it down.
The
All right, lad.
On.
Love it. Right. Enjoy the Kool-Aid. I might see you later on.
We'll see you later.
Go the Blues.
All right.
Enjoy.
Ciao. Fantastic. Ugur Koken has made a $15 donation on YouTube. Thank you very much, my friend. Let's get this going. Where are we? Let's get the Pom on. Let's get him on. Because I know where this is going. G'day, mate.
Top 8. Top 8 football.
Six,
We're back.
We're back. Top 6, mate. Top 6.
Quick, COVID, come back. Wrap the season up. We're playing finals. It wasn't the most beautiful performance, was it? But I mean, you know, one thing I'll say is 2 things, right? One, second half, that we gained 4,000 of our 5,000 meters in that half. So we really upped the ante and started to actually realize that we can't play our beautiful football. We have to play ugly. But that game, watching it, particularly the last quarter, that is a game Carlton lose, and that is a game against Gold Coast we lose. Like we've got previous in them games where the game is ugly, it's horrific. We're kicking behinds for banter. I mean, Liam Jones, I don't know what he did with that goal shot, but it were piss. But it was written, wasn't it? I started to have that feeling of I've been here before and we've lost it. So my take out of that is we've always said we've got to learn to win. They've learned to win tonight in a game that historically we have screwed up against Gold Coast.
Mate, it was only 2 years ago. It was round 4. It was 2019. and I was fucking banging tables because we just didn't know what to do. I think you're right. It was a scrap, but you got to win good. You got to win cleanly, and you got to win ugly. And tonight was an ugly win. Obviously, doesn't mean much other than we're just back on track, and now we can really continue. But all of a sudden, we put ourselves back in that opportunity where we go next week against the final side, and it's one of those tests, against a quality opposition.
I was listening to a Andy Murray documentary, and he was saying because he made so many finals and he kept getting rolled, he brought in a new coach, and the coach had said to him, it's about being willing to put yourself in that uncomfortable position and facing it. And once you get to that situation where you blow it and you somehow win it, it'll set you up. And I feel that Carlton did everything they could to be 2019 Carlton. They really did try. But somehow, things like Sard winning all them one-on-one battles, Kennedy coming on and really adding something. I don't know what Bam Bam's got to do to play football for this great football club. But, I mean, there you go. He was absolutely brilliant. And for me, I think just the takeout of that game was there was an intensity, particularly in the last 5 minutes, where it felt like Eddie Betts, Adam Sard, Jones, Wheater they kind of stood up and said, you know what, we ain't fucking doing this anymore. I'm sick of losing. So get on my back and I'll somehow get a win for you. And yeah, it wasn't the best performance, but the tackle numbers were there. Everything was there that you looked for. It wasn't the greatest performance, but next week we get Zach Williams back. I thought we missed him because I thought our inside 50 entry this week absolutely killed us. Killed us. But then again, I mean, if we can win like that, we know we can win beautiful. What we didn't know until today is can we win ugly? And when the heat is on, and they did. And big shout out as well. I've just seen it in the comments. J-Sauce. I don't actually think he hurt his shoulder because he went back. If you actually see, he went back to take that shot. And the physio mutters something to him, and suddenly his arm went dead. Smart thinking by J-Sauce. Great tackle. Give it to the left footer.
100%. And also one thing as well, Gold Coast, make no mistake, you got to respect them. They're a well-coached side, especially at home. They play a tough, hard, long brand of football, and they tested us like we thought they would. I never really saw this game as being easy. They're not pushovers. You got to give them credit as well because they're well-coached, and they brought it to us.
I think it could have been an easier win than it was. I think the situation is what I always see about Gold Coast is, I talked about it earlier in the week, they're a very kick-mark side, so this game style suits them. They love a boot it long, so they play Metricon well. They played their situation, but at the end of the day, 4 points is 4 points, and to quote the great Brian Clough, do you want to win 1-0 every week, or do you want to win 6-3 one week and lose 7-4 but be beautiful and attractive? Sometimes it doesn't work. So, I mean, that's a big one because we go to Port now and they're going to have to learn to kill the game. I was impressed with that as well. Towards the end, they killed the game. They'd worked out how to create stoppages around the ground and scrap it. We found 2017 Carlton. If you remember that under Bolton, we found out how to be ugly and shit and awkward. And sometimes we need to do that against the good teams because when you play beautiful football, you risk turning it over. But big shout out to our backline. Intercept marking geniuses, aren't they?
Mate, they were well organised. They were hard when they needed to be. When their moments arrived, they did what they needed to do. Just a job well done, mate. Job well done.
Yeah, I mean, 4 points is 4 points in it. I mean, lock it away, 2-2. And you look at the fixture list here now, you'd say that they'd be looking at 3 out of 4, I would say would be where they want to be looking at.
100%.
And I think they've done it. They've got over the adversity. Last week, they had a really impressive backup performance, showed that they've got something. Today, again, heart and courage. So next week, you're going to get a lot more chance to play beautiful football against Port because they play a good brand. So positives all around. And next week, we dust down, enjoy this win. I mean, shout out as well to Luke Parks, my mate. I mean, one thing a Pom loves is hitting someone so hard that they spew up blood.
That's what I'm talking
That's what
about.
I'm about, Luke Parks.
What I'm talking about.
The headband, making people spit blood. That's what I'm about, son. Bob on, mate. Love you.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love you, Pom. Smile on your face. Love it to see it. You have a great one, my man.
I love you all. See you soon.
See you, brother. What a legend. All right. Now, we're about to have a Mark Murphy fan cam at the moment. I'm bringing Shannon Gore on. Oh, hello there.
Murphy! Yes!
Oh, wow. How's it going, ladies? What's happening?
Well, firstly, I'm going to say fuck the haters. Murphy has not passed it. Thank you.
It's going to be
well and truly.
It's going to be our week this week. We're going to
You said
enjoy
that to
this
me
one.
literally after the game. You messaged me and you're like, "It's our week, Shan. It's our week."
Yeah. Soak it up. The Mark Murphy Kool-Aid's going to be poured all over everybody this week.
Oh, well and truly. We're gonna toot the Murph horn this week.
No, absolutely. What did you make of it? Was it scrappy? Were you frustrated?
Very.
Were you all of the above? Were you happy? What's going on?
I'll take the 4 points, but
Not the injuries, though.
not the injuries. No. I'll take the 4 points. It was probably one of the worst games of football I've watched aesthetically.
Yep.
If we're gonna be any chance against Port, we need to fix up that goal kicking, because 9 goals, 16 is probably not what you want against a top side like Port. But hey,
Nope.
Wasteful down forward.
no, that's right. And Liam Jones is back, baby. He is back.
2 in a row. I think
Well and truly.
the other one that's back, low key, Samo.
Hello,
Oh.
Samo. Not a Samo fan.
Oh, wow. Let's talk about it. Let's unpack this.
So
I'll happily admit he did prove me wrong today. That is for certain. But I'm proud to admit I'm not a Samo fan.
Fair enough. That's
Yeah.
totally fair enough.
Proud to say.
I personally thought it was one of his better games. He was confident in his ball movement. He was attacking. He didn't wait for the ball to come to him. He went to the
Took
ball.
the game on.
He actually took the game on. Something that I'm not used to seeing Samo do, and I'm very happy that he does, because we all know we can do it. It's a confidence thing. It's all up in here.
Yep, 100%. I think Saad was hurt, but just was willing to put himself out there, and you go over that white line. You're 100% fit to play, and he battled, and it's good. It seems like we've got a couple of guys that are willing to really grit their teeth, and when things aren't going their way, they're still willing to do
But
something.
just go one game with no injury. Just one.
I know. Even a
Just
day.
one.
But today's been a bad day for injuries, as we all know.
We're not going to talk about that, because I reckon
That's
we're
a
going to.
soft spot.
That's a sore spot here. But
Yep.
I honestly think that even Fogarty had another good game. That's what, 4 in a row now for him.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie Betts, let's just touch on that goal. Like it's
No, hang on. Even just the Murph goal. Eddie to
Oh,
Murph
we
back.
could talk about the Murph goal. Which one?
both. Let's
Just
talk
the
about
two.
both.
The Eddie and Murph, like that was just vintage all over again. Vintage.
You should have seen me. I was up and about. Everyone was
Toot
telling
your horn.
me to sit down. I was just up and about. It was great.
No, you should be up and about. I think, absolutely. I think Eddie, look, he's getting shots on goal. I mean, any other week, and 2 or 3 of those that he missed, they go in. So I think we'll take those opportunities and the pressure he puts on. It's clearly there.
It's just his presence. His presence is
Yeah.
completely like the forward line is completely different with him in there.
100%.
Like
yeah,
they're just moving the ball even better. Like, okay, our defensive out of the forward line is still not the greatest. Like opponents are taking it out very easily. But just his presence alone, that attacking forward line, like
Nail on the head.
get us a full strength forward line, please and thank you.
Couple of brains on the fan cams tonight. I love it.
Hey, we may be females, but we know what we're talking about.
No, I know. It doesn't matter. You're a female. You've got a brain. You're a human being first, and you've got a couple of brains. I love to see it.
Yep.
Exactly
Yep.
right.
The only
Mate.
downer for me was probably Paddy Dow. He had a bit of an off night. I think it's obvious that he isn't showing the intensity that he brought to that game against Essendon in the practice matches.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when he played that game, we're all like, oh, he's up and about. But he's had a couple of off weeks. So I think that he might get a spell and bring in Bam Bam full time. That he's
That's 7 minutes.
he's chomping at the bit, and got to give him a crack. Seriously.
He's just strong enough in the contest, right?
Yeah.
He can stand up in a tackle and use his hips.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dow could, but just Dow wasn't consistent. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's struggling with it's got to be mental because apparently he does it at the time. So we just wait and hope. He's had a good solid month at it. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll beat Port next week. Done.
Love it.
Sorry,
Easy done.
Rosie
I have
who?
no lid.
Rosie who?
Roxy Roo. Okay.
Rosie who?
No, it said Rosie who.
Oh, Rosie who, mate. It's the
Rosie
Sam
who.
Walsh world, and we're all living in it. That's the
Oh,
truth.
100%.
Yeah.
Sam Walsh did Sam Walsh things. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Ladies, enjoy your evening. Go the
Go
Baggers.
the Baggers.
At the Baggers.
See ya. Legends. Rocco.
Mate, I'm like a proud father, huh?
Got the
How
job
good
done
is that?
tonight. Got the
And
job done.
sometimes you just have to win. And that's what you've got to do. And that's what we did tonight. You know, like it was frustrating during the game. Trust me. My couch copped a slamming tonight, right? The disposals, but I think we've got to remember too, man, it's in the Gold Coast, man, and the conditions would have been horrendous. It would have been hot, humid. You could see they were sweating, they were slipping. So you got to understand that it wasn't going to be an easy game. But they come through, man. They come through. They kept fighting. There were a couple players, man. The old ones stood up, huh? Particularly one old one that you kind of like. He, especially that first and second quarter, not only the goals, man, he was up and about, wasn't he?
I mean, so for those at home, Rocco and I are in a group chat, and I sent the following 3 messages to quite a few group chats. I was a bit animated. Didn't mean to carry on like a pork chop, but what I said was, I'm like, fuck you all, Mark Murphy, my boy from day one.
I love it. Hey, this is what it's about, man. It's about proving everyone wrong, mate.
Yeah.
He keeps pushing and he earns his spot and he deserves his spot. You know what I mean? And but then the young kids like Cottrell, man, that bloke's a gun, man. I don't believe that they even dropped him, man. You know who he is? He's the Mitch Robinson that we gave away, man. He's just hard, mate. He goes in, you know. Parks showed some real stuff there, you know. Eddie Betts kicks those goals, man. Hey, it's good. It's good. Everyone's up and about. We had the win. You know what I mean? We're 2-2. We're in the 8. And next week, man, you don't know what's going to happen, man. You come out there, we get a couple of players back, mate, all of a sudden, hey, everyone was stirring us, Richmond supporters, thing, man. We're above them at this moment, right now. We are above them. And look, that last 5, 6, 7 minutes, it was tough. But at times they controlled the ball. They were hard, man. Man, it's all respect tonight. I reckon they did that's a really good win, man. I'm telling you. Forget about the skills and that win was really, really good, man. And hopefully, like last week with Cribs, like maybe the line in the sand moment, the way he stood up, maybe tonight is that win that you have to have, and maybe it sets us up. We won't know until the future, but maybe that sets us up, man.
Yeah, I just felt like there were more, like most of them, not all of them, but most of them were willing to make that moment theirs tonight.
Yeah, the moments, isn't it? There was a couple of moments there that they just made it theirs. They went in hard. They went for the ball. Yeah, the ball slipped out of their hands a couple of times and that. But you're right. Some of them took their moments, man. I was really impressed. You know who else I'm going to give a little bit of a mention to? Setters, right? Setterfield wasn't the best game, but, man, everyone's been bagging him. Everyone's forgot that Setters was one of our better players last year, right?
Yep, most improved.
He was most improved, exactly. And then he comes in. He's had a bad start. He goes back to the reserves. He has a good game, and he comes back. He had something like 16 and 18 possessions tonight. But I thought in that second half he was really important, and they played him where they had to play him. So I'm going to give him a shout out, man. I reckon Setters was really, really done well tonight, man. He's not going to get in the votes, but he's definitely a shout out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Am I right in saying that Ed Kerner was clear best on? Do you think that was the
all the way, man? Like every quarter, he just kept willing himself to the ball. Then he gets that goal, you know. But he just kept willing himself at the ball. Was always around the contest for that let out handball, you know, to take the pressure off. He was always there, man. Kerner, man, I can't believe a couple of weeks ago people like bagging Kerno, man. Seriously, that bloke there is the heart and soul of Carlton, man. So yeah, no, he done really well. Pitts, I mean, he had to do what he had to do, man. Like he was up against like a 5-foot guy, but he got we got the new Grundy, mate. He got 55 hit outs, mate. How's that? 55 hit outs, mate.
Pour the mayo on, mate. Pour the mayo on. I love it.
I love it, man. I love it. So that was a good hit out, man. So I'm happy, and we did what we had to do with 2 and 2, man. And as I said, next week we'll all be there. Better send that Paul back home, mate.
Spot on. We'll be there in our droves. Rocco, I want you to enjoy yourself
Before
tonight.
you go, just remember that the jumper punch is back this week.
It is.
It's a new format. We've got a couple of new hosts. We've got a special guest coming on. I just want everyone to know. I've just finished my studio. Just have a look at this. My studio is completely finished, so it's going to be live. It's going to be all done. So everyone watch out. I think it's Tuesday night, so everyone watch out. It's going to be the new jumper punch, and yeah, go blue.
We look forward to seeing it, brother. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys. See you, man.
See you, mate. What a star. What an absolute star. I got Riley from Queensland. Hello, mate.
I'm exhausted. I am dead set exhausted, mate, after that. It was ugly, but previous years we lose that game, so I'm happy to get out with the win.
You were there. Where were you sitting?
Centre wing, mate. Centre wing. So
Centre wing. I definitely heard you. I'll tell you that much. You guys were unbelievable in the crowd tonight.
Oh, thank you. It was a heavy Carlton crowd. I think from a game assessment point of view, I think defensively we were really good tonight. Ed was sensational. I almost gave my best on ground to Jacob Wiedering. He was superb. Outside of the first goal that he gave up, which he couldn't do anything about, he blanketed King all night. So I thought he was really good. Offensively, not great, but, end of the day, that's the sort of game that, like I said, we lose in previous years. We won, move on to Port. 55,000 at the MCG, we'll win it. I'm telling you right now, we'll beat Port.
You'll hear me next week, and we will be beating Port next week. You've heard that. You've heard that here from not just me, but from everyone coming on.
We'll beat Port.
Love it. At the game. So before I let you go, I want to ask you. So you're at the game. You obviously see it a little bit different to me and everyone who watched it on TV. Yeah. Who was like an unsung hero that might not get the praise that they'll get from everyone else?
You mentioned it last week. In regards to his role, I was actually really impressed with Matty Cottrell tonight in his wing position and the way he held his wits as a wing. He just looks natural, and he's making it. He's making his home. He's tough. He's gritty. And I know a couple of people have mentioned Sam Petrevski's seat, and I thought he was sensational with what he did. He was composed. He was one of the few tonight. It was a cake of soap out there tonight. It was an ugly game, but he was one of the few that looked very assured, very composed under pressure, and you could trust him with the way he disposed of the football. So I thought he was sensational tonight, Sam. SPS. He was, he stood up when we needed him. And I think in the last quarter, as a whole as a team, we really gritted that out. We were tired. There was a couple of blokes out there playing pretty sore, but we worked the Suns into the ground. At the end of the day, all that matters at this time of year is wins. That's all that matters. Not how you play. Bank the wins.
We want 12 to 13 wins. We just want to win games of football. That's what we ask for as fans.
Exactly, mate.
Good on you, legend. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, mate.
See you, brother. What have I got here? Adriano. Adriano.
Hey, what's going on, Tez? First time, long time. How are you, brother?
Mate, I'm great. How you doing?
Going all right, mate. Going all right. We're up and about. We've got all the baggers here, mate. All the boys.
Oh,
here.
wow. The boys.
Mate, the grog squad. We're gonna have to invite you down one day for a drink before the game.
Mate, I'm down. You got the riffraff. Mate, look at you guys. A bit of trouble, mate. I don't know what's going on. A bit of fun, I reckon's been had over there.
Let's go, boys. Up and about. Nah, look, mate. In all seriousness, we just had to get it done tonight. I think, I think everyone sort of hit the nail on the head. It was a bit scrappy, but we're there in the end. We got there in the end, and that's all that matters. So.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, you got to win ugly. You got to win clean. A lot of people talking about like the changes, and I mean, obviously, you always want to look for something to get better at next week. One thing I liked tonight was quite a few guys were sore, and a lot of them just like gritted their teeth. Plowman obviously sore with that knee. Sard, obviously Jack Silvani. It was good. We got some guys that are willing to be a little bit more tough, and then you got Parks knocking blokes out, making them bleed. That's all we want.
Look, mate, it's just players becoming men, young boys becoming men, mature body, getting games into them. At the end of the day, it's all part of the cycle of becoming a footballer, and it's good to see some maturity coming to the list.
Yeah.
Tonight?
What's that?
What did you think about Cripps tonight?
I feel like at times he holds onto the ball a little too long, at times. But he can be a little scrappy. Would love for him to be a little bit more clean with his possession. But end of the day, the guy's in there. He's a battering ram. It's not going to be pretty the way he plays. He just doesn't play a, pretty midfielder type of game. He's a bit more of a crash and bash guy. Definitely got to be a little bit more clean when you're the captain, I think anyway. But listen, he's done his job. Kicked a goal. Should have kicked 2, but that's all right.
Would you give him a vote?
Tonight, I probably wouldn't. It's very quick after the game. I think Ed was probably our best. I'd probably give I might give Jones. It's very early, but I love Jones's game. I love Doherty's game. I love Samo's game. I'm so biased, but I loved Mark Murphy's game as well when the game was out.
Talk it up.
Let me talk my shit, baby. It's my turn.
That's all right. That's fair. He's probably warranted a bit of love. That's fair enough. Yeah, look, you probably nail on the head there. I think we just need to be. I don't know. I just felt like there wasn't enough movement around the pack tonight. I don't know. It was a bit. You mentioned Ed Curnow being one of our best. I felt like he was good when we needed him to sort of step up and win a clearance. You're probably right there. I still felt he was a bit. He wasn't very clean with it in patches.
Yeah.
But having said that, I mean the game itself wasn't great. So yeah, look, you're probably right. It was probably our biggest trier, I think.
Yeah, we'll take the 4 points. Season back on track, boys. Now we get another crack at it. Final side next week. Proper test. No wishy-washy teams. Well-coached side. A little bit banged up, but so are we. We're banged up too. And it's going to be a cracking one. Are we all going next week or what? What's going on?
Yeah, the G.
We'll see you there, mate. We'll have to tee it up and catch up before the game.
We might have to do a pre-game function. I don't know. I think people want it.
Yeah. So I think so. We'll have to
love it.
Anyway, mate, we'll leave you to it. Get on to the next person. But good chatting and keep doing what you're doing, brother. Go Blues.
Appreciate it, brother. Have a good one, boys.
Ciao.
Cheers.
Ciao. Here we got. Where are we? Toby. Toby. Hey, mate.
Terry. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good to see you smiling.
Mate, I am very happy. 2 and 2. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Mate, mate, every Carlton supporter should be smiling from ear to ear tonight. Mate, I'm sorry that I haven't been on in the last couple of weeks. I tried a couple of weeks ago, but I'm glad to be back, Matt, and I am very happy. Matt, how good is it to be a Carlton supporter? It's just good when we win, because we're all up in the bat. We've got the spring in the step, as you say, Matt, and we walk to work and we all go, hey, it's good to be a Carlton supporter.
Chest out this week. Chest out this week,
mate.
Toby.
Chest out, and I go, mate, chest out, and we go, as Carlton supporters, we freaking rock, mate. We freaking rock. Come on, baggers. Come on.
I feel you. Give me your best on tonight, mate. I know most people are saying Ed. Maybe I'll ask you a different question. Don't give me a best on. Give me an unsung hero.
Unsung hero. Ooh, Terry, that is a great question. if I was to say somebody, Jack Silvani, he put his body on the line and that tackle, I don't care who you are. If you've got a bung shoulder and your coach says to you, you go, and you go and you put pressure on. And if the game's on the line, you go. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. And Matt, I can tell you I'm a Murph fan as well. Love him. Always have. Murphy.
Club champion.
Just these ones, Matt. What more can the man do?
No, you're right.
You know, he's older than me, but what more can the man do?
That's it. He's towards the
He's a
end.
legend.
Hopefully we can send him off with a nice last season or however long he wants to play, and we'll go from there. Toby, mate, great to see your energy. Great to see you happy, mate.
Great to be back, Tez. And one more thing. Cannabaggers!
You fucking know it, brother. Have a great one.
Exactly. I will, Matt. You too.
See you, champ. What a legend. Absolute star. Where are we? Vinny.
Hey, Terry.
How you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm exhausted after that game. I really am.
That's what this club does. They make us stressed even when we win. It's crazy, mate.
Yeah, look, I'm just going to start the worst on ground for me. It's Paddy Dow. Sorry, let me switch that up. It's Plowman. I didn't like Plowman.
Wait, let's start the other way around. Who was your best on ground?
My best on ground? Mark Murphy.
Oh, you can stay on as long as you like, mate.
Mark Murphy, without a doubt, was my best on ground. Kicked another banana. He always does. Whenever he kicks a goal, he's always going to get a snag. And it just feels so good. It honestly does.
Yeah, we've waited. Honestly, I was going to say we've waited a long time. Not to say that we're there. Obviously we're 0-2 at the start of the year. We're really stressing as fans. Have they improved? You always want to see improvement. We needed to be 2-2. The job was done. Now we can almost start the season again, kind of thing. Like, all right, now we're in the thick of it.
Yeah. I'm just stoked. I'm honestly lost for words because it just feels so good to get that win again and go 2 in a row. Especially to be honest, I can't remember when we last time we went 3 in a row. I think it was a couple of years back now. But obviously heartbreak last time we versed Port. It really was after the siren. So I really hope we can get redemption on him.
Yep.
And tonight, I'm just going to go back to tonight, but I really did like Adam Sard. Even though he might not be 100% fit, he really does have the talent. That exactly what we needed in that back line. And it really, really sucks that we've lost Marchie now. It's heartbreaking. It really is.
It does. I didn't want to talk about it too much before the game. We'll probably address it tomorrow. End of the day, we won a game of football tonight, but I think we'll get our arm around him and get around Marchie tomorrow and next week, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, good on you, Ledge. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Terry.
See you, mate. Chris Beach. Hello, sir.
2-2, baby. That's where we want to fucking be. That's where we want to be. And that's exactly where we want to go into with Port Adelaide next week at the MCG. Fucking love it.
It's good to win football games. It's crazy how much we put a value on this team. It's fucking crazy, mate.
It's insane, Terry. It's insane. I'm now 29 and I'm still putting this much value into it at 29 years of age.
Yeah. What did you make of? I mean, the conditions were obviously different. Last week we play at Marvel, dry weather, clean, no wind. I obviously went out at the game tonight. I didn't really. From what the comments I'm reading, it was very warm and humid. Naturally, you're going to have a bit more of a scrap up there, and the Suns always make it a contest there. Did you feel the grit and the grind from a lot of them tonight? Did you feel that?
Yeah, I did. It being probably over 100 kilometers away in 2 states over, you will feel that. Gold Coast, it's going to be hot and humid nearly every night up there because it's open planning, so to speak. You're pretty much open no matter where you are at Metricon or on the Gold Coast, for that matter.
100%. 100%. They've got a job to do. They've got a job to do. What did you make of? I want to talk about Cottrell tonight because he's getting a bit of a mention. 2 games. He looks like he's definitely taken a step forward this year. I know it's early, but he looks a little bit more. Yeah, I think he's probably got to clean up the kicking at times and get the class.
Yep.
But if you start with effort, the class and the skills will come.
Yep. They say form is temporary, class is permanent, and he's building that class. That is exactly where I'm seeing it. You and I were having this conversation on the fan camps after the Sydney game. What did he do? He stood up in a pack mark and went back to kick that goal to give us the win against the Swans at the exact same venue tonight.
Spot on. He did. He absolutely did. Yeah, he went back and he had a nice little celebration as well. I didn't mind that.
No, I was a big fan of that. Although he could have gone like that, but he
could have.
We're being picky. We're being picky.
We'll take it. Chris, love you. Love the study, and I hope you enjoyed tonight, mate.
And one more thing as well. Shout out to the Queensland Blue Baggers tonight. You have done a fantastic service. And when us Victorians are allowed to come back up there post-COVID and all that, we are there joining you 100% straight away.
I feel you. Cheers to you, my man.
Thank you, Terry.
See you, bro. What have I got? Dylan. Hey,
Terry.
How you doing, my man? What's going on?
I was stressing the hell out in that game. I thought it was going to be another close loss like last year. Oh.
Mate, you know how it is. We're Carlton supporters. We don't get it easy, mate. It doesn't happen easy.
Yeah.
We kind of expect to win against such teams by 40 points, and we want to show that we're ready to win a flag, but we just got to get wins on the board. We're not there. I don't think we're ready to just belt teams every week.
Yeah.
What was your favorite moment of the night?
Oh, Cottrell's goal. It was just a beauty. It's like it was. Yeah, it was really good.
It was. What did you make of the young boy Parks? Didn't get a lot of it. But he was tough, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, when he bumped Lukosius over, it was like, oh yes, beauty. He's like, he deserves his spot in the team. Definitely, I love him there.
I think so too. I think he's given us some depth in that position. Hey.
Yeah, very much.
Awesome. Any last thoughts, mate?
Our goal kicking, obvious. I didn't like how our kick inside 50 is just bombing down the line. I didn't really like that. Could have chip kicked it a little bit more, but the weather didn't really make it easy. So
yeah, very true. Very true. Well, mate, good to have you on after a win. Absolute pleasure.
You too.
Hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, you too.
See you, man.
See ya.
What a star. What have we got? Rafi. Rafi!
Hey, Terry.
Mr. Sydney, what's going on?
Mate, do you have any heart medication?
It's a disease. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's we're never going to get it easy.
Is what it's called, mate. Carltonitis, my God. Oh, man. At one point, I had my wife messaging me saying, can you tone it down, please? Because, she's having a nap, and I'm just going, fuck! When, was it Bose or whoever who got this bullshit free kick right inside their forward 50 and put them within a point or something. But, look, great that we won. And how good is it to say, actually, we could have won by more, as opposed to saying, oh, we could have won.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So that's not one for the ages, not one for the history books, but look, 2-2, we just had to win this game tonight. We just had to win. And, thank God we did. Feel like I've aged 50 years watching that. God.
Is it just me? And I'm going to ask you and everyone in the audience too. I mean, I feel like I'm genuinely scarred. Like it's PTSD. Like I was confident we'd win the game because I saw the way we were attacking the footy, but part of me was thinking, oh my God, is this going to be 2019 all over again? Like it's not good. It's
flashbacks.
depression.
I had flashbacks of that game where they score a goal with 10 seconds left and they're up by 2 points. I cannot. I was so angry at that game, so angry. And I'm just glad it didn't turn out that way. It kind of felt like a wet weather game to me, just kind of like very slippery ball, kind of like not really good ball skills on either side. Like Gold Coast fumbled it, we fumbled it, but it kind of, just hack it long, just get it forwards, lock it in the forward line. And I think in the last quarter there was a point where it was like 2 inside 50s to 17 or something. So admittedly, 9 goals, 16. We could have been, significantly higher than that. But again, it's a win. It's a win.
It is a win. The realists will say it was a paper over the cracks win. I will just say I'm going to enjoy the moment.
Yep.
We know what happened last year. Footy was taken away. Let's just enjoy this for what it is tonight. Not get too carried away. We didn't get too carried away last week. We spent a couple of hours after the game enjoying it. At the end of the day, we all just want to see our football club win games, and that's what makes us happy.
Exactly right. And instead of a best on, I'd kind of like to do like a moment of the match, if I can.
I like it.
Silvani's goal. Tackle. Jack Silvani's tackle. That won us the game, I feel. And it just really shows the grit and determination that the guy has. I mean, when he first started, people were kind of like, oh, does he have it? Does he not? That sort of thing. But man, he is really growing into such a solid footballer.
Yeah.
And we're a lot better with him in the team, I feel.
Yeah.
And yeah, he won us the game tonight.
He brings the Carlton spirit, and I hope that he's going to be okay for next week, because when he's not there, there's a difference in the energy in that forward line.
Exactly. Like, he grew up idolizing the navy blue, and he plays like it as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Rafi, you're a star. Thanks a lot.
No worries. Thanks, Terry. Catch up.
See you, brother. I have got Libbo. Where you at, Libbo? Hey, mate.
Hey, mate.
What's going on?
Not much. The heart's finally calmed down. It was tense. Best on for me was Jack Russell. We just were fitter than them in the last quarter.
We outran them pretty well.
Watching Port last night, I feel like we'll be fitter than them as well next week. They ran out of legs and clawed their way over the line against Richmond. Just watching them bomb it down the line last night, I thought, mate, Jonesy and Wiedering are going to lap that up next week if we can hold our form early.
I don't want to get too into next week right now, but I'm already thinking we're not going to make the same mistake as last year. We can't put Jones on Dixon. We'll put Wiedering on him, hopefully. We match up pretty well against Port, I think. It's always a relatively good game. Last year was obviously a cracker. But yeah, I mean, it's job well done and we move on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was job done. That's it. And thank God we're at that stage in our development,
Yeah, for sure. What was your moment of the game that maybe hasn't been spoken about tonight?
I'm sorry I missed the first 30 minutes. My parents were around.
All good.
Apologies if it's been mentioned. But I loved it was Jonesy again with his intercept marking. Yes, his kicking was off, but early in the game, they really could have got on top of us. But he was just stepping up and intercepting everything. So I loved Jonesy tonight. And Paddy Dow, I've read and I've heard people not liking his game, but I was proper watching him tonight to try and get something to like about him because he's had a couple of off weeks. And he was almost unlucky. Every time he got the footy, there was a bloke on his hammer, or he'd get the footy free and we'd have given a free kick away so he didn't get his disposal. The bloke's just unlucky, in my eyes. I
feel like he just needs that one breakout game that he can memorize in his head and say to himself, that's the game that I'm going to build my career off. And he maybe just hasn't had that lately. It was interesting because it was a game where you just had to crack in and win the football. And, we'll move on with Paddy. We'll back him in and put our arm around him. And, if he doesn't play next week, he doesn't play. If he does, he does. There's a development pathway now for these guys that go down to the reserve. So We've got plenty of room there for him. There is the VFL starts next week. So, yeah, I don't want to get too negative on him. Obviously, he wasn't outstanding tonight, but listen, we won the game of football.
Yeah. I haven't heard the result. I obviously heard about Marchie, but how did we go in the twos today?
I think we lost. It was a disappointing loss, but we'll do the wash up of that tomorrow and talk about Marchie and all of that.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, mate. Thanks
Awesome.
again.
All right, brother. Take care of yourself. See you, mate. James Murph, where are you? James Murph? Not here. Maddie.
Hey, Terry.
How you doing?
I'm going to have to apologize to my neighbors tomorrow.
Okay. You've had a bit of a yell tonight, have you?
Bit of a yell, bit of a swearing, a bit of everything.
So you've donated to the swear jar tonight and you've pissed the neighbours off, but you know what? It's fucking worth it.
Yeah. When Silvani went down, I lost it. And just not again screaming like we can't lose him. You can tell the difference when he's out for a week.
100%. I think I said it before about the energy in our forward line defensively is different when Jack plays in there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What was your what else? Give me another moment of the game that hasn't been spoken about yet, because there are quite a few.
I thought that Eddie Betts was really good tonight. Like, I know everyone said he had, a great game last week, helping out McKay. But he, again, got that one goal, and if that's all he gets, it's Eddie Betts getting a goal. But if Blue Baggers are happy everywhere. But he seemed to really do a good job on his own, like not so much a helping out role, but really getting in there and
Doing
getting
his
the
bit as
young
well.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's kicked 1 goal 3. If we can find a way to make that, 3 goals 1 or 2 goals 2, we'll take that from Eddie. And the pressure was there as well tonight. Obviously, people talk about his age and whatnot, but I think this group still needs some senior experience in there just to guide things, especially when we've got the amount of injuries that we have too. So, yeah, it was good. And listen, when Eddie does things, the crowd get up more than for other players. He just has that magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He like when he got the goal last week, it was the team getting around him and the crowd, and it just made a difference to the game. You could definitely tell.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Maddie, love it. Love the energy. Hope you enjoyed tonight.
Did. Okay.
Good on ya. See you, champ.
Same.
Mitch.
G'day, mate.
What's going on, mate?
Oh, just enjoying the win.
What'd you think? How'd you enjoy it?
Oh, look. Parksy. Good old Parksy.
He cracks in, doesn't he?
Oh, I love that bloke.
Yeah.
New favourite player, I reckon.
Is it too early to make him a cult hero, or am I getting ahead of myself here?
Oh, he's getting there. He's getting there.
2
or 3 weeks.
Okay. So he'll stay in the side for you. What you want to persist with him a bit more? He's only 19.
Yeah, get him in.
Yeah. Have you got votes for me? 3, 2, and 1, and put you on the spot.
All right. 3, we're going Parksy. Quick and easy.
Yep. Okay.
1, because I can think of it off the top of my head, Eddie Curnow, 100%.
Okay. Yep.
And 2, your boy Murphy. He did well. Did his
thing. He needed to respond because the criticism, to be fair, the criticism about him was it's warranted. We expect more from him. He just did his job tonight, found a way to do his job. So we'll I hope that, if we criticize him when he doesn't do the job, maybe we should get around him when he does do the job. So I felt like tonight he did the job. So we'll get around him tonight.
Agreed.
Yeah. Love it. What else do I need to know before I let you go, mate? Last thoughts.
Next week's a big one, of course.
Yep.
especially since my family are all Port Adelaide fans. So
wow,
yeah, 1v, yeah, God knows how many, but yeah, gonna get around the boys and come baggers.
Love it, mate. Good on you. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, mate. See you later.
See you, mate. Helena.
Hello.
How's it going? Winning's good.
Good.
I need to stop you. I need to stop you for a moment. So those watching at home, Helena, this is the face to the great writer that does our AFLW articles and the articles on our website. One of the many talented youngsters. Helena, just wanted to give you a shout out and thank you for your work.
That's all right. Thanks for having me on board. Appreciate that. And
no worries. What do you think of tonight?
Yeah, not much. Pretty good, pretty scrappy. Not one that I'll go back and watch the replay of. But not much that hasn't been said already, I don't think. But I want to mention our underrated players. I reckon Gibbo and Uni, they started in the first quarter on fire.
Yep.
I think Gibbo was at centre clearances, which is what we finally want to see. So they finally realised that someone who's won 2 Brownlows and VFL in the midfield should probably play in the midfield. He did pretty well to start with. Unfortunately, copped a bit of a knock, but toughed that one out. And
he was the other one as well. Sorry to interrupt you, but he was the other one as well before, and I said, guys got hurt but battled it out. He copped a bad hit to the face, and he just got up.
Like cringing.
Yeah,
it's a massive knock. He just kept going, which you love to see.
I love the fact that people have come on tonight and we're talking about these job doers and not the stars, the same names every week. It's good to have an even spread, you know?
Absolutely, because we've got 20 players on the team and they all did their job, well, most of them anyway, so all deserve the credit. Like Jody and Leaders and Doc, solid. Leaders stepped up.
Yeah.
He's getting consistent now. And Weir's bounced back. He hasn't started to crash hot, so good to see him get back on top of King. And I reckon scrappy win, but that's all we ask for, so it's good to see.
Winning is winning. We're just here to be happy with wins.
Exactly. 4 points is 4 points.
100%. You're a star, Helena. Thanks so much for coming on.
Okay. See you later.
See ya. Alrighty. I'm going to make a final call. I've just put the link in the comments. Now's the time to hit the link because I've got to go out and celebrate. What is this? Come on. It's Saturday night. The Baggers are 2-2. Come on. What do we got? Helena, I'm just going to remove you from here. 1 sec. Webby, you're coming in, mate. Nicky Webb.
You got me, James?
Mate, you hit the link. You come into the waiting room. You're straight in. What's going on?
How are you, buddy? Good, mate.
I'm fantastic.
I'm frustrated. Jeez, mate. This, it's a hard watch every week, isn't it, buddy? It's a hard watch.
Listen, there's one thing that we have to learn. We're not going to be winning pretty. This is not what Carlton do, mate.
What do you say, mate? It's just, I don't know, just good teams just find a way, don't they?
Yeah.
And we found a way, and if you followed my Twitter, you would have seen my frustration through the whole night. I just felt we didn't have the intensity we had last week.
Okay. You mean for the whole game or just the beginning?
We just didn't have the, I don't want to say effort, but the intent to chase and tackle. And is that a fair comment, or am I being a bit harsh?
No, you know what? I was writing down things during the game. I made that comment in the first quarter, not necessarily after that. I felt like they probably would have got a bit of a talking to about the intensity, but I did feel in the first 5, 6, 7 minutes that we were a little flat-footed at times. But I don't know. I mean, look, everyone sees the game differently. I just thought we got better at it as the game went on, you know?
Yeah, because I'll take you back to the second quarter. I think it was Brandon Ellis had all day to kick that goal from the goal square, and there was no one running at him to lay a tackle or lay a smother, and I'm like, what's going on here? You know, he had all day just to kick it, but enough of being negative, mate. We are 2-2. We are drinking the Kool-Aid. We are turning up to the G, and we are knocking these bastards off. Right?
60,000 there, mate. I don't want to hear 50,000. We have 80,000 odd members. There's no reason why we can't get 60,000 there next week.
We are beating Port Adelaide. They are banged up. They are banged up, mate. Right? Rosie's injured. Butters is injured. A couple of other players are banged up. We are beating Port Adelaide. We are going 3-2, and bring on the Brisbane Lions.
Good on you, Ledge. Thanks for coming on. You're a star.
Hang on, mate.
You got one more? Go.
Yeah.
Go.
Quick. I've just logged in, but I want to talk about Liam Jones. Like, I tell you what, his last 2 weeks have been outstanding. I think he took 9 intercept marks tonight. He was immense, mate. He was outstanding.
He was.
But
he was. It's been. I think, like you said, 2 weeks. Last week he probably had his turnaround game after a 2-week patch where we thought it wasn't at his best, and now he's had 2 good ones in a row. So, and listen, we played Port last year, and he had a not so good game against Dixon. Probably got thrown to the wolves a little bit. Do you go with the Jones matchup next week on Dixon, or is it Wiedering?
It's Jones. It's Jones for me.
Okay.
And Wiedering can take Marshall or whoever else is up there.
Yeah.
But it seems that we now have job doers. We've got Luke Parks. We've got Matty Cottrell now. We've got Michael Gibbons. They ain't superstars, but they do a job. Like Richmond. Richmond aren't full of superstars. They just have job doers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is good, mate. I am much happier now. I am much happier.
It's good to see, mate. It's good to see the faithful happy. That's what it's all about.
See you, Ledge. Love you, mate.
Love you too, mate. Take care. John.
Hello.
Hey, brother. What's happening?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Oh, what do you mean, mate? 2-2 with a shot at going back into the MCG next week and starting this season properly.
Oh, how good's footy? After a year with no footy, seeing it on TV again, just getting wins, it's what we love to see.
Yeah. I mean,
I just want to make a special announcement. I reckon Jack Noon's game today was probably one of the best games I've seen. He just fights for the ball. His second effort is just outstanding. I just thought people don't talk about him, so he was just my player of the game that no one's been talked about on this show.
The unsung hero of the game.
Love Noonsy. Love his work. Love his effort. Just what a player. What a pickup.
I think he's one of those players, like when he comes to a club, if you don't know him, he takes a while to get behind, probably because he doesn't do things that are flashy like Jack Martin and whatnot. But I think week in, week out, is he giving effort, intensity most, if not every time he is. Now he's starting to actually win the pill, and he's put some size on. He's now strong in the contest, and I think you're right. And for too long, we've probably relied on like stars to win games, whereas now we've got a bunch of job doers, as Nick said before.
Yeah, just everyone in their team did their part. Paddy Dale was a bit disappointing, but he's just. I think he'll get there. He's a young kid. He's just learning. He hasn't had many games in the AFL. Paddy Dale was probably the only disappointment, but the whole team did their job. It's just not. We were just not focusing on like the likes of Cripps or Walsh. Everyone did their part tonight, and I just thought it was great to watch.
No, I love it, mate. I love it. Appreciate you coming on and sharing that with me.
No worries, mate. Take care. Go back.
You know it. You know it. I've got, where are we? Rocket.
G'day, Tez. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Not too bad.
How are we feeling?
Good to have another win. Tez,
It's always
I
good
was
to have a
watching
win.
you, 2 weeks ago now, and you were saying, I know we're going to come out. We're going to beat Freo. We're going to beat the Gold Coast Suns. I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid. We're going to be 2-2. So here we are, mate. Here we are. Where do we go to from here?
Well, that's the question, because we've got two teams coming up who are bona fide finals teams. I think we can all look at Brisbane and Port as bona fide finals type sides. And the destiny's in our hands. We've put ourselves back on the level pegging. We start again almost. We didn't let 2 losses become 3 in a row. We fought back, and who knows? It's Saturday night at the MCG. It's our home. Who knows what can happen next week?
Yeah, they're a pretty good team, Port Adelaide. Like, you'd want to be bringing in, Levi has to play, obviously. Harry has to play well. Let's hope that it's a dry night. But it's a huge question whether we can make that next step next week. I mean, you look at that Port Adelaide Richmond game, and you look at tonight, and that they were 2 different contests. And not to say that we can't get there, but we have to prove that we can get there. We have been waiting. We were waiting for this moment against Collingwood 2 weeks ago. We were waiting for this moment against Collingwood last year. This is the step that we need to take.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. It's that test against the quality opposition. And not to say that Gold Coast are not, but Gold Coast and Freo are probably in that group where we are in the middle. And so we probably think these are the teams we should be beating. Whereas next week, I don't know if we should say we should be beating Port, but I think we would say that we can be beating Port, and if we put ourselves in a position, we then should be beating Port.
It's a big game at the MCG. It was good to see Kennedy come on, wasn't it? Like, he's earned his spot. I was you could see him warming up a couple of times throughout the day. Like, it was good to see him get his opportunity. You just love having those bigger bodies in the middle. I think Setterfield was lucky to get a game, wasn't he? Like, to be honest, and Paddy Dow, I love Paddy Dow, and you just wanting him to have like this breakout game and just prove it to everyone. But he's on the edge, bigger bodies, Port Adelaide, hard in the midfield. I'd like to see Kennedy get another run. You'd love to see Stocker get a run. You see Cottrell come in, and you see Parks come in, and you hand a bone to these kids, and they run with it. And Sydney's handed a bone to 4 young kids, and they've flown with it. I think Teague can be pretty conservative over the journey, and part of me would like to see him just give the head to these kids a little bit.
One thing I liked about selection, which probably hasn't been spoken about yet, is waiting a little bit longer with Mitch McGovern rather than bringing him straight in, making him play that one extra game. That's probably something that we didn't do with Mitch last year. We just brought him in as soon as we could. So I'm glad from that point of view that there's been a bit of a, he's held firm at the selection table.
Yeah, I think so. Mitch is another one who has to put his best foot forward, doesn't he? Next week would be a pretty good stage for him, you would think. I mean,
so.
the MCG, big ground. He'd have space and time. Would you prefer it to be dry or wet?
We've got a lot of guys that bang it on the boot. I almost want it to be wet.
Yeah, treat to that. Where do you stand with Murph, mate? Truthfully, listen, started well. I can't help but feeling like we're gifting games to a few blokes over the journey.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I think if Murph is doing things like he did tonight, that he's doing what he's asked to do. He's now that offensive link between half forward and inside 50. Uses the ball well, puts it in good positions, got on the end of a couple, kicked a couple of goals, played the veterans game. He's not meant to be a star anymore. I thought tonight was not the night to criticize him. I thought tonight was the night to celebrate him, personally. I understand the people want to see that intensity and in cracking in. The reality with Murph is his body doesn't have, that's not him. Now, that doesn't mean it's excusable for him not to tackle, but I just think his role in the team is not to be an enforcer. That's why we've got a Jack Noons. That's why we've got these types, these Fogartys. Their job is to be, look, everyone should be hard at the contest, but those other guys do it a little bit more better with the way their bodies are. And there's a reason why Murph is, close to 300 games. He's been a great servant to the club. And let's be honest, he's done more than anyone on the list right now has done for the football club. Let's be honest. He's done more than Cripps has as a captain as well. So I
But
just
you're
think
watching
tonight,
Richmond, and Shea Bolton is playing that role.
Yeah.
And there's a chasm between those two players.
Yeah. I think.
Look, I mean, personally, my niece has number 3 running around on the back of her jumper. When Murph came along, it was like, oh my God, this is the beginning of the future. And I don't know. I don't know. You look at our list, and there's not too many gaps. It's more about who deserves the opportunity, and intensity has to come first. And that skills. In this day and age, I think skills should be pretty much a given.
They should be. They definitely should be. I don't know if they are.
But certainly intensity should be. So, look, I agree with you, and he's a match winner on his day, but we need to see it.
Yeah.
Broken-hearted to see Marchbank, broken-hearted. And, I think people forget how good our best 22 is, and if our best 22 was running around week after week, like a lot of the best teams have been over the last couple of years, arguably best 26 or so, I think it would be a different discussion around Carlton, if we had the Charlie Curnows and the Marchbanks and so forth. I think we've suffered.
Yeah, well, I think also think about it as well with Murphy and the likes of Murphy and Betts. If everyone's healthy, if we've got Martin and Fisher, I dare say they're in the side. Fogarty stays in the side. We're at a position now where we need to rely on Murph and Betts, because the reality is there are a couple of injuries to our best 22. It just is what it is. It's not an excuse. It just, these guys are not playing. They're not available. There's quite a few of them. Jack Silvani looks like he might, who knows? He might need to come out because he's a bit sore. So I think once we are fully fit, that will be the end of the Murphs and the Betts and the whatnot. But at the moment, I think
I don't want to write them off. They've been champions for our club, and Murphy has been an absolute stalwart for our club, and he deserves chance after chance after chance. I feel like he's had a lot of chances, and this is not a get rid of Murph rant. It's not.
No, no.
It's just it's a bring your intensity and bring your best version of yourself every week, and we're going to need it next week against Port. He plays, and we're going to need a great game from him. So fingers crossed we get it.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
mate.
Tez. Love
No worries.
your work, mate. And
thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. Good on you, mate.
Appreciate it, mate. Have a great one.
You too.
What have I got? Andrew Letts. Yo.
Yeah, mate. I'm just going to say that I love the show. I rated the game very highly today. I thought of it as one of my shits that I just recently taken.
Sounds good. All right. Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Harry's going to go. I feel like the comedy hour's coming, so I'm getting out before you trolls get on here. Guys, baggers, 2-2. Port next week, MCG Saturday night. Let's enjoy the win. For now, we'll recap it tomorrow. Enjoy it tomorrow as well. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the fan camps. Go the fucking baggers.